Namaste. This is the fifth in the series of chanting rules. Let's remind ourselves of the simple mnemonic again. Please chant Devi hymns very harmoniously. We will now look at the V in the mnemonic, which stands for very, and the letter V here denotes the rule of Visargam. What is Visargam? Visargam represents the two dots or colon that you see sometimes after a Sanskrit word. The normal sound associated with the Visarga is H, that is produced from the mouth, as opposed to H, the alphabet or Akshara, for which the sound is produced from the navel or nabhi. There is a general tendency to chant the Visarga as H always, irrespective of wherever it occurs. This is not correct. The Akshara or alphabet succeeding the Visarga H dictates its pronunciation. Only when a sentence that ends with a Visarga can one use the H sound. For example, a sentence ending with Nama and Visargam will be pronounced as Namaha. We will now see the different sounds of Visarga based on the Akshara succeeding the Visarga. Therefore, in a sentence, if there is a Visarga, the sound of the Visarga will not generally be H, apart from one exception, and we will discuss that exception later. The sound of the Visarga will change depending upon the immediately succeeding alphabet that is there in the succeeding word. The correct Visarga sound will be F if the following Akshara is Pra. For example, in the Gayatri mantra, we should say Dhiyo yo naf prachodayat. Some chant it incorrectly as Dhiyo yo nah prachodayat. That is technically incorrect. The right pronunciation is Dhiyo yo naf prachodayat. Therefore, the same sound F will be chanted when the succeeding Akshara is P. So the sound F will be used where the succeeding Aksharas are Pra and P. And in fact, Pra is nothing but P plus R, Ip plus R. The sound of the Visarga will be Ik if the following Akshara is K. The sound of the Visarga will be Ik if the following Akshara is K. The sound of the Visarga will be Is if the following Akshara is Sa. For example, Namaha Sadase will become Namas Sadase. The Visarga sound will be Ish if the following Akshara is Sh. For example, Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. The two Shantis in the middle, the Visarga sound will take the sound of Ish. And the right way to chant is Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi, and not Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Only the ending Shanti that has a Visarga will be Shantihi. The first and second Shanti should not be chanted as Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. You have to join with the Ish. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Similarly, if the following or the succeeding akshara is sh, sh, then like the sh in Vishai, then the sound of the Visarga will become ish. The Visarga will interestingly take the sound of r, where the following akshara is a consonant. For example, the very famous Guru Shloka, Guruhu Brahma, Guruhu Vishnu, Guruhu Devo Maheshwaraha, Guruhu Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Watch carefully what happens. Guruhu Brahma will become Gurur Brahma. Then Guruhu Vishnu will become Gurur Vishnu. And Guruhu Devo will become Gurur Devo. Because Guruhu Brahma, Ba, Visargam followed by Ba will become Ra. Guruhu Vishnu, Visargam followed by Va will become Ra. That is Gurur Vishnu, and Guruhu Devo will become Gurur Devo. On the second line, Guruhu Sakshat, Visargam followed by Sa will become Guru Sakshat. Therefore, the sound of the Visargam is very important and will change depending upon the succeeding akshara. Only when the Visargam occurs at the end of a sentence, the sound h will be used. And depending upon the vowel at the end of a sentence, if it is E, for example, Shantihi, it is E. And if it is a elongated vowel, whether it is U, that is U, or a short vowel U, or a short vowel E, or an elongated vowel E, the h will change to hu, he, etc. There is a very notable exception where the Visarga will be chanted as h, even if it occurs in the middle of a sentence. Please note this, very important. There is only one instance where the Visarga sound will retain its original sound h when it occurs in the middle of a sentence, and that is when the succeeding akshara is ch. For example, in Devi Mahatmyam, in the Narayani Stuti, Narayani Namostute, there is one line that comes Kaushambah Charike Devi. Since Charike, Cha comes, there we have to say Ha. Kaushambah Charike Devi. And even in other texts, Vedic texts like Rudram, we have Namaha Kshatrabhya. Namaha Kshatrabhya becomes Namaha Kshatrabhya. So you have to say her there. Very, very important. To improve the quality of a chanting, you should know the proper rules of Visargam. The best way to master the chanting of Visargam is to learn Vishnu Sahasranamam, that is replete with Visargam, and is a delight to chant when the Visarga rule is applied properly. However, the manner in which this rule is ignored in the public chanting of Vishnu Sahasranamam is quite astounding once you understand the rule. Hopefully, after this video, you will revisit Vishnu Sahasranamam and see it appear as a totally new, different and challenging text. But once you master Visargam, which Vishnu Sahasranamam will help you with, the joy of chanting Vishnu Sahasranamam will be taken to a totally new level. Trust me. And no longer will you hurry to chant it as if you have to catch a bus or a train. Let's try some examples. Shloka number 3 in Vishnu Sahasranamam. when the Namavali starts. You have Yogo Yoga Vidam Neta Pradhana Purusheshwaraha. Second line, Narasimha Vapuhu Shriman will become Narasimha Vapush Shriman. Keshavaha Purushottamaha will become Keshavav Purushottamaha. So watch carefully. Narasimha Vapush Shriman Keshavav Purushottamaha. So only the ha occurs at the end. Rest of the two visargas in the end, the visarga followed by shra became ish, and the visarga followed by pu became ip. Next, look at another example. Swayambhuhu Shambhuradityaha Pushkaraksho Mahaswanaha will become Swayambho Shambhuradityah Pushkaraksho Mahaswanaha. Swayambhush, bhu followed by visargam followed by sha becomes bhush, and Shambhuradityaha followed by Pushkaraksho, that is pa, will become if. Shambhuradityah Pushkaraksho. Next, move to the next example. Agrahyaha Shashwataha Krishno Lohitakshaha Pratardanaha will become Agrahya Shashwata Krishno Lohitaksha Pratardanaha. Agrahya followed by Agrahyaha followed by sya becomes ish. Agrahya Shashwata Krishno. Shashwataha followed by ka becomes ik. Shashwata Krishno Lohitakshaha Pratardanaha. Pra coming, so you have to join with if. Lohitaksha Pratardanaha. Got it? Let's look at another one. Stavyaha Stavapriyaha Stotram Stutihi Stota Ranapriyaha. Lot of sirs following the visargam, all of them will be joined by is. Stavyas Stavapriyas Stotram Stutis Tota Ranapriyaha. Only the ha comes at the end, and so it will be the visargam at the end of the sentence will be pronounced with ha, but not the ones in the middle. Since the visargam is followed by sa, it will be is. Let's look at another example. Sanat Sanatanatamaha Kapilaha Kapiravyayaha. Since the visargam is followed by ka in both the words, you have to hold with ik. Sanat Sanatanatamak Kapilak Kapiravyayaha. And let's look at another example. Araudraha Kundali Chakri Vikramyur Jitashasanaha. So Araudraha Kundali, visargam followed by ku or ka will become ik. Araudrak Kundali Chakri. And the second line, Shabdatigaha Shabdasahaha Shishiraha Sharvarikaraha. Since the visargam is followed by sha in this line, in all the instances, the visargam property will change to ish. Shabdatigas Shabdasahas Shishirash Sharvarikaraha. See, you don't chant it as ignoring the visargam or chant it with a ha. It will become ish. Shabda tegas shabdasahas sheshirash sarvarikaraha. Let's look at another example. Sridaha Srishaha Srinivasaha Srinidhihi Srivibhavanaha. All the Visargams are followed by Shra. Shra is made up of Is and Ra. But the first sound is Ish. So you have to join the Visargam with Ish. Sri Das Sri Shas Sri Nivasas Sri Nidhis Sri Vibhavanaha. Sri Das Sri Shas Sri Nivasas Sri Nidhis Sri Vibhavanaha. Next line. Sridharaha Srikaraha Shreyaha Srimal Lokatrayashrayaha. Again followed by Shra. So you have to hold with Ish. Sridhara Srikara Shreyas Srimal Lokatrayashrayaha. Got it? Let's look at the interesting example of Ra. Anadihi Bhuhu Bhuvo Lakshmihi Suviro Ruchirangadaha. So the Anadihi, the Visargam has already been replaced by a with the sound Ra. Anadir Bhor Bhuvo. So Anadihi Bhuhu Bhuvo became Anadir Bhor Bhuvo. Let's look at another example. Janano Jana Janmadihi Bhimo Bhima Parakramaha became Janano Jana Janmadibhir Bhimo. Jana Janmadihi became Jana Janmadibhir because it is followed by Bha consonant. Now let's look at a very interesting exception for her followed by Ch. Akruraha Peshalo Daksho Dakshinaha Chaminam Varaha. The first one, Akruraha Peshalo Pa. The second followed by Pa becomes Ip. Akruraf Peshalo, not Pa, sorry, if. Akruraf Peshalo Daksho. Now comes the interesting part. Dakshinaha Chaminam Varaha. You cannot join it here. You have to say the Ha. There has to be a slight pause. Then you have to say Chaminam Varaha. Akruraf Peshalo Daksho Dakshinaha Chaminam Varaha. Let's look at another example for Cha. Very interesting one. Nakshatrane Mir Nakshatri Chamaha Chamaha Samihanaha. The first one is Chamaha Chama. So you have to say the Ha. You cannot join it there. Nakshatrane Mir Nakshatre Chamaha Chamas-samihanaha. The second Visargam, since it is followed by Sa, will become Chamas. But the first one, Chamaha, Chama. Another one. Ashramasramanaha Chamas Suparno Vayuvahanaha. Ashramaha Shramana becomes Ashramasramana because of Shra following the Visargam. But Shramanaha Chama becomes Shramanaha Chama only. It will not change. The right way to chant is Ashramasramanaha Chamas Suparno Vayuvahanaha. And once you understand this, you will watch out for the Visargams, mark them, probably white out them and introduce the right sound there by your own handwriting. Or people use different techniques, they use different colors, whichever way they want to do it, they do it. I would suggest, especially for the ones where there's a ch, mark it and make sure you say it correctly. That's where the expert chanters who are impressed with the chanting will mark you on this. Okay. In order to observe the rule of Visargam properly, you also need to be well aware of the rule of holding, which you will see in the next video, which is video number 6. By proper holding technique, your mastery over Visargam will be complete. If you wish to improve your chanting in general, kindly listen to the great Chalakare brothers. chanting of Vedas and Sahasranamams, both Lalita Sahasranamam and Vishnu Sahasranamam, at www.kannadaaudio.com, KANNADAAUDIO, one word.com. Under the spiritual section, they are absolute masters and an absolute inspiration. I have learned tremendously just by listening to them and imbibing by listening to their chanting. And that concludes my video number 5 on chanting rules. Happy chanting and PKP. Please keep practicing. You can visit us at www.GRDIYERS.weebly.com. That is GRD Iyers.weebly.com. Namaste.